Hello, it's Jason of Strange Paranormal and the Ectoplasm Show. I am going to do my own response video to David Glidden's most recent video. In my last video, which was my bucket list location, which I will put a card in here for if you want to check that one out, I did ask David Glidden to make a response, as well as 2 other people, and he did. So if you want to see that response, here's the card for that, and I'll also put it in the comments or the description of this video. And the question he put out there, he didn't call me out to make a video, which is fine. I want him to spread the love further out from me. But I felt like I should go ahead and make a video because I want to respond to his video. So his question was, what is the worst investigation you've been on? Or at least that's the gist of his question. The worst, so I've never been on a really bad one. I've been close to being on very bad ones. Most of the ones that probably would have turned bad, I had got a feeling of it before, so I didn't do those. Probably the worst investigation that I personally have been on was a very small investigation. It was just me and one other investigator, and it was early on when I first started. We investigated a house. We got a request to come, and we were there for about 30 minutes, 40 minutes after we did the interview. So we were there for a little while, but we were starting to investigate. We were about 30 minutes into investigation, and the family was there. It was a small family. They got very upset with us because we weren't doing it like the ghost hunters on TV were doing it, and not necessarily Ghost Hunters the show. That's just the way that they worded it. It wasn't how they saw the ghost hunters on TV conducting paranormal investigations. And I didn't necessarily preempt them to know what to expect from us. And honestly, we didn't investigate all that differently from the shows at the time. But apparently they weren't happy with us, and they were very quick to let us know. And they basically threw us out. Which, in the grand scheme of things, wasn't a terrible investigation. We didn't come across anything like horrible. We weren't what they were expecting. So they told us to leave. Now, one that might have gone really bad if I didn't catch it was we interviewed a family who was having a problem with the Ouija board that they kept getting rid of, and it kept coming back to the house. And I wasn't able to make the interview the person for this investigation at their house, but I sent a couple of my investigators to do the interview, and they ran an audio recorder during that time to pick up, to record the interview so that we could go over it later, and we would just have it for when we did investigate. Now, I never saw the inside of the place. Apparently it was pretty dirty, but that wasn't the crazy thing. And my interview team that went out didn't catch this. Halfway through the interview, on the recording, the lady talks about selling meth, and it was in a string of sentences. She was talking about something else, and then she mentioned selling meth, and then she was talking about something else. And for some reason, they didn't catch it at the time. And it wasn't until I listened back to the interview before we went out there that I caught it, and we decided not to go. I don't think I have that audio anymore. I might. I'm going to see if I can find it to throw it in here before I put the video out. But yeah, so that could have been pretty bad if we would have showed up and they were dealing meth out of the house and we were trying to investigate, and who knows what could have happened there. And it's it's just funny that we caught it when they didn't even catch it at the time. So yeah, that's my 2 worst investigations. Well, one of them wasn't even really an investigation. It was almost an investigation. So not too bad in the scheme of things. So yeah, thanks, Glidden, for putting that out there. And I hope you guys like my response. Please let me know if you guys have had anything like that happen to you. So I'm going to ask 3 channels that I follow and that follow me to make response videos to this and to answer David's question of what is the worst investigation that you've done. The first channel I'm going to call out are my friends the Para-Holix. I want Shaggy and his crew to put together a video in response to this video and David's video, telling us what your worst investigation has been. And if each person in that group have a different one, that's great. So please make a video in response to this and pass it on. Ask other people to make a video as well. The next channel I want to call out to make a response to this video is BS Paranormal. It's a channel I just started following, but I'd like to see what they would have to talk about. I'm sure that they've had an investigation that was not quite right. The last channel I'd like to call out is a friend of mine. Her name's Allie of 11th Messenger, and I've been on a few investigations with her. I'm curious to see if she has an investigation that she thought was a terrible investigation. If you guys don't have a terrible investigation, just tell me a story. Make a little video about something that was at least very interesting about an investigation that you've done that you weren't expecting. So if you don't have a horror story investigation, tell me a story about something unexpected you had on an investigation. Thanks a lot for watching, you guys. Please subscribe, please like and comment. If you didn't get called out in this video, still feel free to make a video response of your own. Please send me the link when it's posted so that I know to share it. And if you don't feel like making a video, please tell me in the comments about one of your terrible investigations that you had. Thanks a lot, guys.